You switched us again. Okay, here we go.
Right.
Hello and welcome into the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. How you doing? I'm Ron. That dude over there, John Uglinski, who is the executive producer and my partner in crime, and we wouldn't have this were it not for John. So John basically picked me up by my lapel and get your stuff together, Ron. Let's get on the air. Metaphorically, speaking. But so here we are, working on a Tuesday, July 23rd. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. He turned 87.
Happy birthday, Pops.
Yeah, Dad's still rocking, doing pretty good. And it's so great to watch him now because he had COVID pretty bad, wound up in the hospital because
recently.
Say 6 months ago.
Okay.
Like
all right.
But then they put him on oxygen. He didn't like that at all.
Oh no.
When he got out, oxygen at home. But he's been doing his exercises and working and just trying to get his strength back up in his lungs so he can come off his oxygen. So he doesn't have to be on it when he's sitting down, and he has his little meter. And anyway, so we were out to lunch yesterday, and he was off his oxygen and he drove himself. I mean, he's back to being mobile. I mean,
good.
I know, it's pretty amazing. 87, man. The man is rocking pretty hard. So happy birthday to Dad. And my namesake, actually. I know I'm the second son, but Mom named me after him without his knowledge. That was I think I've told that story here before. There are two different stories. One was Mom was so whacked out on drugs. They were like, "What's the baby's name?" And she thought, "What's the father's name?" And then the other one is she did it on purpose. So when Dad walked in and said, "Hey, we need to name the baby?" She goes, "I already did." And it's Ronald David Jr. So
there you go.
And there I am. So there, I just gave you my full legal name. Yeah, enjoy. Am I supposed to do that?
I don't think so. You did. I don't think it matters. I'm John Franklin Uglinski the third.
The third. That's right. You're a third.
Yeah.
You're a third. Although it's funny because when it came time to for our children, name our children, and we didn't do a gender reveal or any of that stuff. So we didn't know what either one was going to be. But we with Carolina, we started picking out. That's daughter the younger boy names.
Right.
And for some reason we concentrated just on boy names because we're dumb like that. I don't know why, because the girl names were they weren't an afterthought, but we didn't like sit down and go, "Hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this." But we had picked out a bunch of boy names, and it was either Nicholas Maxwell or Maxwell Nicholas. And Maxwell named after Bob Maxwell, the morning guy. Love that man. Rest in peace. Yep. And Nicholas, I didn't want to be Nicholas because I love the name Nick, but we'd already had a cat named Nick. So Nick's your buddy, Nick's your pal, Nick's a guy you can depend on. What's it from? It's a movie. Nick's a guy you can throw up in the back of his car or something like that.
I don't know. I'm thinking of the Paul Giamatti Santa Claus movie. Sorry.
Oh, that Nick. Yeah, no.
My little Saint Nicholas.
No. Nick's your buddy. Nick's your pal. We had a cat named Nick, and so it was going to be Nick. I love Nick or Max. However, I did bring up, there could be Ronald the Third, and Greatest Way of Ever was like, yeah, no.
Which is funny because
she said it would be confusing, and I'm like, I'm not confused whether they're calling my father or me. I'm pretty sure.
All of that being a third.
Right.
And didn't want to make it a fourth. And I think we talked about this before. But
yes, we did. We got into I got into the naming thing. But yes. How did I get there? I digress. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Where was I going with that? I have no idea. I'm
not sure.
So the daughter, the elder, has been in Florida with his family, his mom and so on, her husband's family, and been doing things in Florida. She was out in a lake, and of course, the Greatest Wife Ever and I are like, watch, if there's water in Florida, there's a gator in it, and Smarty Pants took a picture She's
Mhm.
out in the lake. Her
Sure
grandson,
enough.
her son, my grandson, was off with his grandmother,
Yeah.
so he wasn't there. But she's in the lake, and then she takes a picture, and there's a gator. It looked like a baby gator, but
It
in
don't
the
matter.
water. And she took a picture of her going, "Oh my!" Like, you know what?
Where there's baby gators,
You know
there's
what? There's
bigger gators.
mommy gators. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
not, was
Yeah.
not
It don't
happy with that. There were a lot of people in the lake
yeah.
where they were, and the water looked clear. Whatever. I just okay. She knows what she's doing, apparently. But I guess as a parent, the woman's in her 30s. As a parent, though, you never it never chills. You never chill.
No, you
You have
never.
the
They're
you have
always
the
the same.
exact same concern right now as I did when she was a toddler, and when she was 7, and when she was 13. It never it never abates. It never diminishes. It never goes away. I'm just telling you, if you're a young parent, and if you're an older parent, you know what I'm talking about. You can't relax. And we've told the both daughters, your goal is a relaxed parent. At the time when they were teenagers, like, I just need to know where you are. I need to know what you're doing.
Right.
Um, that's all. I just need to
Yeah.
know where you are, what you're doing, so on. That's your goal. Relaxed parent is a happy parent, and relaxed parents let you do stuff. Parents who are not relaxed and stressed
Fun.
out tend to grasp a little
Yeah,
tighter,
the
a
clamp things down a little bit.
little
A
tighter,
little
just
harder, a little
just to
tighter.
make sure. Because number one rule is your safety, not your happiness. That's you. That's on you. Your safety,
Right.
child. But anyway, so it didn't. I'm sorry, and I don't know if she's watching this, but I texted the greatest wife ever, and like, she's a jerk.
Ah,
Why are you showing us that? Don't show us that.
yeah,
Don't. she she's not. I was kidding. I was being
no, it's just her saying, "Dad, look, I'm okay.
Dad, look, I'm
All
fine.
right,
Yeah, I know.
go out,
Come on,
dude."
man. Come on.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, Jennifer just posted our California friend.
yeah.
I think you're our lone Californian uh listener. I used to have it. Let's see. I still text my folks when I leave for a trip and when I arrive home. I do too.
Yeah.
I tell mom and dad where I'm going when I'm out of town. Absolutely. I still do. You're right. She's just by the way, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can text us or put a comment, and then we can pop
Oh,
those
yeah.
up. And thanks for watching us on YouTube. Make sure you hit that mash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
And if
Share
you're
it.
listening to us, then thank you.
Thank
Appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with us. So
That's
yeah,
all.
it never ends as a
Did you
when
see
you
this? Did you see what Susan had to comment? I wanted to make sure you saw her giving Susan Heck giving you heck.
Good morning. I have to give you heck because you swept the series Salem Red Sox against your Frederick Keys. We're the Frederick Keys.
No,
Get
they
off
swept.
your
They
keys,
swept.
sir. Go Keys.
They
That's
swept.
right.
The Salem Red Sox swept.
Yeah. Where's my broom? Where's
Did they
my
sweep or did
broom?
you sweep? Who swept? I'm
Damn.
confused. It says because we swept the series.
I have to give you heck. Oh,
She's
all
giving
right.
you heck because the Keys lost.
All right. I'm going to go back because I misread that.
Can
All
we?
right, I take all of that back. Yes, yeah. Okay. So, all right, well, go Keys. Anyway.
See,
Yeah, no, I got it, Susan. We did.
uh,
I just
and
posted another comment to clarify. I got
yeah,
it. Frederick Keys, there are, I don't even know, what are they? Carolina League? I don't know what they are anymore. They were part of the
used to
Baltimore
be,
Orioles organization
used to
at
be.
one time.
Let me look
Yeah,
that
the
up.
Baltimore Orioles, and then I think the AAA was the Rochester Red Wings. Rochester. And then you had it was the Hagerstown Suns, and then no, I'm sorry, I take that. Yeah, Hagerstown Suns, and then the Frederick Keys, all in the Orioles organization. So, like, big name um, draftees, people they drafted to play in the league would start. Maybe they'd start him like Ben McDonald was a huge pitcher. They got him from college. They drafted him for the Orioles organization, and he started Frederick Keys.
Okay.
I think he pitched like 2 games, maybe 5, and then immediately straight to the Orioles. I'm like, wow, okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
So I don't know if this makes sense, but it says MLB Draft League. Is that what they're
Yes.
calling it now?
Yes,
Okay.
okay. I'll take that.
All
I don't
right.
know. It's hard to
I
follow.
remember it
They're
was in the
so
Carolina League at one point and stuff, but I haven't followed them in years. So
who? The
the
Keys?
Keys, yeah,
The Keys.
yeah,
The Keys and Key 103, and I think we've
and
mentioned this before
Coyote.
because Frederick, Maryland is where oops,
What happened there?
like
Oh, no.
it
Hello.
dropped down. Because Frederick, Maryland is where Francis Scott Key is he's buried, Mount Olivet Cemetery. And if you ever do the oh gosh, now I can't remember the name of it when you search for the geocache. Have you ever done geocache? Have you ever geocached, John?
I've watched people who have done it, meaning from Facebook, but I've never actually been out and done it. It looks like fun.
We haven't done it in a long time. A
Yeah,
Greatest Wife Ever and I. We have the app on. You have it on your phone, and it gives you
right.
coordinates for these geocaches. And they're little things that use like a scavenger hunt. And you go find these geocaches. You follow it on your phone, and there's one in Mount Olivet Cemetery, and it's hard. It was hard. I found it by accident. I mean, we're literally standing there in a cemetery, by the way,
Oh, wow.
with our phones, and we're looking around because it says it goes, beep, 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 you're within 3 feet.
Oh,
And
so
I'm within 3 feet, and I'm looking around, and it was rough. I'm not going to give it away in case you geocache and you want to go to Mount Olivet Cemetery in Frederick, Maryland. But it's a good one. It's a really, really good one.
okay.
And we found all the ones in Florida near our friend's house in Florida where we go and hang out. So that was in Pompano Beach and Lighthouse Point. So there are a bunch around there. We've done geocaching. One time we were in Rocky Gap State Park in Maryland. We were camping and we were geocaching with her brother and his wife. And we're on the phone and we're looking, and we went up into the woods and we found a geocache, which actually was a map. And you open that up and it had more coordinates on it. You had to do these, answer these questions, and it was music based. It was like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. And anyway, you found out the other coordinates to the next geocache. So that wasn't it. That was just a way to get to the next geocache. So we go to the next geocache. We're walking in the woods and we finally found it. It was underneath a log or whatever. And you take it, you find it, and sometimes people leave things, a little
Right, a
keychain
little trinket.
or a sticker, yeah, a trinket.
Yeah.
And you sign a log with your team name. I forget who we are. We're Todd and Margot. We're Margot and Todd.
Of course you are.
Of course we are. And you sign it, and then you date it, and then you put it back, and then you post on your geocache that we found it, or easy find, or it was a lot of fun. You can put notes.
Do you bring something with you to replace the?
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we do. We go to the dollar store and we buy silly little things,
right,
to put in there. And then, but this particular one in Rocky Gap, where we went and found the map, and then we went to this other place, we're in the woods, and you couldn't see where any of the campsites were anymore, and we were fairly deep. And as we were walking, we looked down and like, what's that? That's bear scat. And we looked around and we're like, oh my God, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, it could be bear poo.
We need to get out of here
right around. Hello.
fast.
Yeah,
And
it ain't Winnie.
And quickly.
Yeah.
So that was we ran ourselves deep in the woods. So
Ron, it's kind of like we say down here. Yeah, there's sharks in the ocean. There's bears in the woods.
There's bears in the woods. The sharks in the ocean, bears in the woods. Greatest wife ever always wants to see a bear. Oh, I want to see a bear. And I'm like, do you?
No.
She wants. No, we were camping one time, and I think it was Cunningham Falls, which is up in Thurmont, right near a certain naval base that's in Thurmont, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, we do.
And yes,
I do.
It's Camp David. Camp David's up there, and so
don't get too near to that.
No. There's a federal. There's a federal park,
right?
From the United States government, a federal park, a U.S. park, campground, and then there's a state park on the other side of this road. And we were at the state park at Cunningham Falls, and we had a whole group of us. And I don't think you're wife camped with us then. We were at another place.
She did go
And
somewhere with you, and I
she
declined.
did. Yeah. She brought right. No, she brought the boys.
Like, I don't
She,
care.
I know. She said, John, don't
I was
camp.
like,
I'm like, all
if
right, I
we're
got
going
it. That's fine. That's
if we're
right.
going to a cabin, I will go. If we
I
are
know.
staying in
I
tents,
know.
nope.
Look,
We don't camp.
she was mother of the year, man. She had the boys out and put up
That's
her
cool.
tent, and I
Yeah,
don't forget
fun.
who she had a friend with her as well. But anyway,
Yes.
we're at Cunningham Falls, and then all of a sudden, and greatest wife ever. I think she missed it. I saw it. There was a bear cub that ran, and they can boogie, ran through the campsite.
Yeah.
And then a DNR, Department of Natural Resources, Maryland, they come by and they're like, where'd it go? We're like, down there. And they're like, all right, well, be careful, because where there's a cub, there's a mama bear.
True.
And if they think that cub if mama bear thinks the cub's in trouble, I mean, why was the cub running? So
Right.
now we're on like high alert. We're waiting for mama bear to show up or more cubs. And we're like, oh, it was cool, but it wasn't cool, man. Because it was like, oh no. Because they don't.
They don't mess around.
I don't mess with bears.
Especially with their youngins.
We have friends that have they live up in the mountains, little mountain. I mean, we call them mountains around here. I mean, if you're out in the Rockies, you're not going to call these mountains. These are like pimples on the world. But these are the older mountains because they're small, because they'd been here longer. And in the Piedmont region where we are in Maryland. But anyway, we're in the mountains. Friends have a house, and they have one of these motion detector cameras in the back, because it's nothing but woods in the mountains behind in their backyard. So they're catching bears walking through, a lot of deer, but catching bears walking through all the time. So they keep everything locked down tight. So there's no food, there's nothing for them and for the bear to entice the bear to come in. Garbage is all locked down and all of that. But still, they wander through like, hey, what's going on? Because we've encroached upon, their habitat. There are bears all over the place. And there's a lot of deer. I don't know why. It's a lot of deer
They're
running around. Yeah.
We have them here in our backyard too.
A lot of deer.
Time.
I don't hunt, but I certainly do. I have a lot of friends who do. And they, they eat that. I've had venison steaks. It's, sorry if you object to that. I'm sorry, but it's pretty decent. I liked it. Well, there's no fat on it whatsoever. So
yeah,
it's a different taste. It's not beef.
No,
I'll give you that.
It's not chicken either.
No, it's not chicken. I've had venison. I've had gator. I've had rattlesnake. I've had fried rattlesnake, which was just, again, it tasted like fish. It tasted like fried fish.
Did it?
To be honest, yeah. And I've had antelope. I've had our friend antelope chop. Yep, bison, pheasant, and quail, and which is not that far off from a turkey. Turkey is a pheasant, by the way, and which I didn't know. But a lot of one time I had a girlfriend in high school, and her dad they went hunting, and so it was fried pheasant that evening for dinner. They had me over for dinner, which was very nice. And man, I crunched on some birdshot that was still in. Yep.
Oops.
Had a nice big fried breast, in a cast iron skillet. It was fried and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. This is excellent. I thought I was going to break a tooth. They're like, oh yeah, careful. So then I cut everything after that. I didn't bite into anything. I cut it all. Looking through. So, but it was pretty good. Pheasant. Never had pheasant before. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And they had fish curry all the time.
Fish curry.
Yeah, which kind of ruined my taste for curry. And the greatest way her family used to make curried meatballs. And so for the first few years in our relationship and in our marriage, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not curry. No, thanks. But then I've gradually gotten the taste back. I love Indian food. So I would try it again.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like super spicy.
I love the curry. Yeah, wife not so much. So we don't often do that. No. So
do you like spicy food? Are you a big spice? You're a spice guy?
Oh yeah, come on. We were just doing spicy noodles.
Yes, I had the spot. You caught at the bottom of that bowl. That
Yeah, when you get down to the bottom of the
So we went to a ramen restaurant.
ramen,
We went to a ramen restaurant,
not Raymond.
not Raymond, and John kept calling it Raymond the entire time. And
I don't know why
I
you
didn't
do
look.
that.
I didn't correct you. I figured that was just the way you said it.
You
So
just
I'm
get
not.
it's a brain thing, you get it in your head for some reason.
I understand. I
And
got it.
anyway, yeah, we got down to the bottom of the bowl, and
He took one spoonful, and I saw his face lit on fire. Like, oh, okay, all right, I got that one.
the stuff that makes it spicy, every once in a while, they have a big chunk of it,
Yep.
whatever the pepper is or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be floating down the bottom, and you'll be like, oh, that's probably just a mushroom or some other. And then it's like, oh, that was a pepper.
My friend, my friend George. So he likes a lot of spice.
Yeah.
So it's like if we're doing fried shrimp or grilled shrimp, whatever,
Yeah.
it's not enough to make cocktail sauce. It's ketchup with horseradish. No, hang on. So it's more horseradish. It's just pink. It's that much horseradish in it. And then you put some lemon juice. But then he puts wasabi powder in it, and he's cracked black pepper. I'm like,
wow. Okay. No, I do. I love good spicy.
When it comes up, when you feel it come up through your sinuses, and you're like, whoo. So he always goes, yep.
We should do a hot ones at some point on the podcast.
I'm scared.
All right.
I'm scared to do that. If you've never seen it, Hot Ones is it's a YouTube show.
Yeah.
Called First We Feast.
Yep.
And Sean Evans interviews various celebrities while eating increasingly hot wings. They eat the first wing and then he asks a question. So basically it breaks down the celebrities, whatever kind of barriers they have.
Inhibitions and
yeah.
whatever.
So, but there's one that's called the bomb, which actually isn't the last one. It's the third to the last one.
Right.
But apparently it's just battery acid. It's a
yep.
Do you want to hear a lot of cussing? Then watch. Watch
the Gordon Ramsay one.
Oh well, and then they have a compilation of the celebrities eating just the bomb and their reactions to that. But Charlize Theron had like the best.
Hers was great. There's actually been a bunch of them. Jay Timberlake was actually very funny, and a bunch of other ones. But I think the coolest thing is, like Ron says, celebrities, because they're going through this, maybe aren't thinking straight. And this guy's a great interviewer.
Oh,
like,
he's beyond,
he's beyond good.
That's my goal, is to interview somebody like Sean Evans.
Maybe you should just start feeding them hot wings, and then.
Well, the thing is, the thing I like about it is it's well researched, and he'll throw a nugget at him. And so when you were working at the Dairy Queen and the DQ and you were big fans of the brand, they're like, how did you know that? Well, you really did your, let's see. Napua says, the bomb appears in a spot depending on the heat tolerance of the guests.
Oh, so does it move in the order? I didn't know that.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I didn't know. I thought it was like the third to the left.
She looks like she's a fan. So
okay. She's a good.
Yeah.
And so I'm scared to do that. I like heat. I had I had some wasabi the other last time I had sushi. I put those, it's not enough. It's not enough. First I make a little slurry. You're not supposed to make a slurry, by the way.
It doesn't matter.
I read I don't know, man. I read all of the rules, the manners on the correct way to eat sushi. And you don't need to use chopsticks. It's finger food. Just pick it up. Which I thought was interesting. But also you don't make a slurry with the
you know what?
Wasabi in the
I
still do.
I'm gonna make my slurry. I don't care.
Is that what you do? Do you still do that?
Yeah.
Then I put a little piece of ginger on top, and then I
don't do the ginger. I can't.
You don't do the ginger?
Oh, I don't like ginger.
And then I put a little bit more of the wasabi on top of that. But last time I had it, it was too much. And I was incapacitated for like 15-20 seconds. I'm like, oh my.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be brutal. Like, you have to be careful.
I understand that in the US, I read this somewhere that the wasabi we think is wasabi is not like real wasabi. It's just
Really?
like, yeah, they color a kind of wasabi. I understand is a horseradish. It's still a radish, isn't it?
Okay.
I think.
I
I don't
think
know.
you're asking the wrong guy.
I'm speaking out of turn.
I don't know. I'm not I'm not gonna speak about stuff I know nothing about.
Oh, I do all
Well,
the
I do
time.
that all the time.
I do all the
What
time.
am I saying?
I like to say, although I do like to say, from what I read
I have
and
opinions
or
on
I
everything.
heard,
Yeah,
I try not to say, "Hey, did you know?" Blah blah blah, and spew
yeah.
out a fact because I used to do that. And
Well,
I was talking to somebody. Oh, I was working with Dina Carroll, the morning show yesterday because
Key
I'm working
103.
like key 103. There it is, right there. And because she does a feature, it's called Dear Dina, and now I do it with her and you get these
Mm,
you do this advice. It's a
okay.
question that's sent in by listeners, and then she doles out the advice, and then I help out.
Oh,
And so I'm reading this one, and I'm correcting the grammar as I'm going along.
oh, that's not good.
No, no, no. Well, they used an adverb, which was great because I think they said slowly or quickly or smoothly or something. And I'm like, oh, nice use of the adverb. And then they said blah, 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 with, and they end as a sentence with a preposition. I'm like, ah, you just canceled it out. And the sentence with a preposition. And then I moved on, and Dina's looking at me like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, rightly so.
Sorry.
I
I
mean,
just, it's grammar. I didn't know this. They don't teach cursive writing anymore in school. Is that correct?
I've heard that rumor.
Is that correct? I mean,
Which
my kids
means
have been out of school forever, and my grandson's
right.
about to go into first
Maybe
grade.
somebody can share with us because I heard that, and if so, then it makes you wonder if you're doing advertising, graphic design, things like that, signage for restaurants, menus. Like literally, you probably shouldn't be using it at this point. Then, if that's the truth, right?
I guess I don't know. I mean, it's they're not teaching cursive writing. Then how would you sign your name? I guess you're printing your name would
Yeah, you
be
stylistically print your name.
because Patton Oswalt, one of my
Yes.
all-time favorite stand-up comedians, does a bit about cursive writing, and he goes, "What is it about that your signature that makes it an ironclad before you any contract, anything? It's not official, it's not legal until you sign it. So here's you're buying this house, and you're gonna pay $700,000 for this house or whatever, and but it's not legally binding until you put your name down and you make it go ooh." I'm like, oh, that's that's
Yeah,
what stole it. I stole that from Patton Oswalt. That's not mine.
that's okay. You
But
get
it was like
credit. It's
that was a
fine.
good it was a fair point. I'm like, yeah, what is
Retell.
magical about the signature? That but anyway,
So yeah, Napua says she follows a YouTuber who comes across cursive writing and says he can't read it. And then your brother, Mr. McGregor, says some private schools still teach cursive.
still
Yep.
okay.
And then Susan chimes in, my son never learned cursive and it drives me nuts. He prints his name as his signature. I don't get it.
I had penmanship class.
Yeah.
I had a class where they taught you the the strokes of the pen and how to write correctly an
Elementary school, we
A and
learned
B's. Yeah.
cursive and how it should flow and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I couldn't wait. I used to practice my signature. I couldn't wait, because the R is, it's a stroke up and then the stem down and then the loop around, and there's supposed to be a little loop in between, and then you curve it back down
Right.
for your R.
Yeah.
And but then, when I got old enough to do a signature, and it's like, wow, the big loop
Oh,
and
yeah.
bringing around, it's funny to watch other people's signature because they get the credit card or whatever, they get the check and then just go,
Wow.
well,
Everybody.
that's not, what is that? I mean, I at least try
Yeah.
to come up with a semblance of some of the letters, the major letters in my name when I do my signature.
Yeah.
Celeste is posted here. You are correct. Cursive is not taught anymore. My sister's a teacher, and middle school students asked when they would be given their signature, not that they would be taught cursive, so
When
they
would
can
they be
sign their
given
name.
signatures? Here's your signature. Maybe I can go on Fiverr and have somebody come up with a signature for me. I mean, right? Are we kidding? Wow.
Wow. I just learned that. I had no
I know.
idea. I had no idea.
So, yeah, this is a good one because this reminds me, and we may have talked about this in the past too. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder whether we've repeated things. But Napua points out, had to sign my name so much at a job. So ever since you can't read my signature. And that with Ron and I back in the radio days, signing logs, you would have to sign your hourly log, you would have to sign transmitter logs, you would have to sign this and that.
The
And
commercial log, well, to
yeah,
prove that you
right.
read, yeah, and you had to do.
Essentially, it's an affidavit that
There
we
was a
send.
sign on and sign off, and you just had the initial each page.
Right.
So, of the shift that you were on, but
Yep.
the transmitter log, I mean, I was you're licensed by the
Right.
FCC, Federal
Right.
Communications Commission. You had a license from the federal government
Right.
that you were the operator on duty, keeping this transmitter within the legal parameters that it was
Right.
licensed for. So you had to take transmitter readings every 2 hours. Every 2
Is it
hours.
2 or 3? Whatever.
Every 2 hours, you had
Yeah.
to take your readings and then write them down and log them, and you signed it every time.
Right. So
And
the point,
right,
because
the point is, yeah, my signature, yeah.
you figured out how to sign so that it was a quick signature thing, and my signature has a hidden Mickey in it. Did we ever talk about that before?
Yeah, you did. You gotta
Okay.
I did.
And I didn't realize it. But
Oh, you didn't do it on purpose?
no, I didn't do it on purpose. And somebody later pointed out to me, was when I was working in real estate, that I
Okay.
signed something. They said, "Do you know your signature has a Mickey head
And you
in
went
it?"
and you
And
went,
I'm like,
no, it doesn't.
like, what? Really? But to the point, yeah, that was the way we were too. We had to sign stuff so much that
I had to, and this is gonna sound so I'm not bragging. I swear to God I'm not. But at when I was working in DC 101, I had a different air name. I was Ricochet.
right,
And they would send out birthday cards
get it,
to the people in the loyal listener club.
right.
And so there were thousands and thousands of listeners who were members of the loyal listener club.
Mm,
So you had to sign it. And you
that's
sat there
amazing.
during your
We
shift
did
and
that.
you
Yeah,
signed Rick
yeah.
O'Shea, Rick O'Shea, Rick O'Shea, so it became an R-O, an S. I think there was an apostrophe in there and then a line. Just like, yeah, I guess that's an EAHEA, whatever.
And then did they have to figure out who actually signed the card then, like when they got it? Like, did they
I don't
know
know.
it was you?
Well, at first it was just, you could read it. But
Right.
by the 6 months into it,
Oh, well,
signing these cards, during your shift, because while the song's playing, you like 6-song sweep or whatever, you're not really doing much of anything, and you're just and you just sign them, get them done, get them out of the way. And then at Hot 99.5, we had for the Hot Morning Mess, we had these little autograph things with the picture of the show,
hmm.
and we had signed those too. So, and t-shirts, and I was signing t-shirts. So that I had a quote unquote autograph. I know it sounds pretentious. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. But it was just R.
It
I don't
was
know.
what it was.
I
Yeah.
always tried to be such a smart aleck. Please disregard the following, and then I signed my name. I don't know. I thought I was cute.
Well,
I come across old Facebook posts now, in memories, stuff from like 2010.
mhm.
Ooh, I thought I was so funny. And I
Yeah.
read them now and I'm like, oh,
I know I'm funny.
cringe. No, cringe. Cringe. It's like, oh, that's a joke. You think that was fun? You
Fine.
thought it was funny enough to post. You thought
Oh,
it was,
I would not
for
call myself a comedian. I would call myself a jokester.
you're a jokester.
Yeah,
No,
like I like to kind of just joke around a little bit.
I,
I'm not a comedian.
yeah, no, not even.
I did be curious if you had to like poll people and they didn't know you were going to read it, whether they thought you were funny or not.
I was told one time by a boss.
I'm afraid to ask that question, honestly.
Right.
I
I
mean,
was told by a boss one time
yeah.
that we don't pay you to be funny.
Ooh,
And I'm like,
ooh,
you ain't.
ooh, 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 ooh.
I don't know.
Not good.
You ain't paying me anything.
That had to.
So,
Yeah. Well, if it was
yeah,
anybody in radio when I was in radio, yeah, they weren't paying me much of anything anyway. So I don't think I would have taken that personally.
well, when I was working at DC 101,
They don't
which
pay
is a
you.
rock station in Washington, DC, and at the time,
Right.
their huge morning show DJ, his name was the Grease Man. He was a Grease Man. He's
Right.
legendary.
We've talked
Whatever.
about
I've talked about Grease
Doug
Man before. He
before.
replaced Howard Stern. Howard Stern was at DC 101, and then when he left and went to New York, Grease Man came in and then dominated for like the next 10 years.
Wow.
And so I was trying to go full time. I was part time on the weekends, trying to go full time. And the program director sat me down and said, "Look, I play basketball every weekend, but I'm no Michael Jordan."
Okay.
He goes, "Do you hear what I'm saying?" Implying that I'm no Grease Man.
Oh,
which, and I got it. I mean, and I'm like, okay,
all right,
cool.
Thanks. Great. Yeah.
That was. I mean, I guess he was trying to be nice. I don't know what he was doing, but however, this manager also did teach me what not to do when later I became a program director. I'm like, I'm going to do the exact opposite of everything this person did. and it worked out great.
Taught you a good lesson there. Good life lesson.
It happened. But anyway, my point is that, what was my point? We were talking about, signatures.
Right.
And then we got to the thing. Okay. Cursive writing. No more cursive writing. By the way,
it's gone.
I didn't write any of this down on the run of show for today.
Yeah, this is not. I'm like looking over here on this monitor, like trying to figure out where in the show this fit in.
Well, I want to get to. I'm sorry about that, John.
No, that's okay.
I do want to get to. Well, one thing though is that the Greatest Wife Ever's birthday party is this weekend, and so we're doing a thing. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be at some friend's farmette that they have, and we're going to be camping out overnight. But there's going to be a lot of dancing. There's a big theme. I put together a playlist for what we're doing, and that was a lot of fun going through like a bunch of songs that we want to dance to, which brought up the question of the day, because it's time to get the gray matter working, fire off the synapses, engage the frontal lobe, form new neural networks, utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to think. It's the question of the day. The Q&A for short. This is for pride, not prize. Here is today's question of the day. Rolling Stone posted a list of the top 200 greatest dance songs. The number one song was the 1977 hit from this seasoned singer, in quotes, seasoned. Who was the singer? Who was the singer? 1977.
I have an idea.
Seasoned singer. One more time. Rolling Stone posted a list of the top 200 greatest dance songs. The number one song was the 1977 hit from this seasoned, in quotes, singer. That's a hint.
Seasoned.
Who was?
So he was seasoned?
The singer.
Where she was?
Who was the singer?
Okay.
All right, put your answers in the comment section now, and a good luck.
Oh, wait.
No.
That's good. I like that.
God, the world tilted on its axis. What happened? Oh, we're going to keep this one? All right, good. Let's go.
Oh, I could do that, or I can do this.
Old Man Periwinkle. Oh,
Old Man Periwinkle. Yeah.
It was always Old Man Periwinkle. Speaking of the Greatest Wife Ever's birthday.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, you and your Greatest Wife Ever were at our house.
Okay.
For that birthday party, because we did the match game.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do. I do remember that.
The match game, and it was the
Old Man Periwinkle was so old.
Right.
How old was he?
Buckskin bathing suit.
Yeah.
But it was funny because everybody's playing nice. It was, we've been drinking, and it was these double entendre questions that you were throwing out there. And I'll just say,
okay,
it was your lovely wife who broke the seal on the language.
Oh, did she?
Because then after that,
Very
everybody was just like,
surprising.
"Oh, we can do that." Then it
Yeah.
just it was the
And then
funniest
foul,
thing.
filth and foul
It
and
was
foul.
so I haven't laughed that hard. Oh my god, it was so great. It was so great. Greatest wave ever was like, I want to do the match. I want to play the match game for my birthday because we just remember back when we were kids
Right.
watching the match game with Gene Rayburn and Richard Dawson and Brett Summers and Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Dawson.
And they were all drunk by the Friday show because they had a bar and they would do shows.
They would do a week worth of shows
In one day, right? A week worth of shows in one day, but they would go and have a drink in between each show. So by had 5 drinks by the end of the last one. So
yes,
they were pretty hammered. So that's what we did. We had fun with the match game. All right, here we go.
All
the
right.
question of the day. Do we have some answers?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, good. Here we go. One more time. Rolling Stone posted a
Okay.
list of the top 200 greatest dance songs. The number one song was the 1977 hit from this seasoned, in quotes, singer. Who was the singer? Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Napua. Was she the first one?
She was first one.
First one.
Mhm.
Donna Summer. Summer is a season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. There you go. Yes. Donna Summer. The queen of disco. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this song, though. I don't agree with this list at all, really, because number 2 was Daft Punk, One More Time. One More Time. Number 2?
No.
Dance songs?
Dance song.
Greatest dance songs? Number 3 was Chic, Good Times. Okay, I'll give that to you.
The Chic.
Yeah, I guess. Frankie Knuckles and Jamie Principle, Your Love from 1986 was at number 4. So
do I even know that song?
Right, exactly. So it's Rolling Stone, right? So
they're trying too hard.
It's their opinion.
That's Rolling Stone.
In Deep, Last Night a DJ Saved My Life from 1982. I don't even remember that. Shannon, Let the Music Play was at number 6.
That's pretty good.
Let the music play. Robin with a Y. Robin, Dancing on My Own from 2010 was at number 7.
Okay.
On the House of Marshall Jefferson, Move Your Body, the house music anthem from 1986.
These, seriously, Rolling Stone, get a life.
They were.
I don't know where you've been.
I will agree with this one. At number 9, Robin S., Show Me Love. Love that song. Do, 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 do. What? You've got to show me love. And at number 10 was Disclosure featuring Sam Smith, Latch from 2013.
Again.
So the number 1 song, I'll give you Donna Summer.
Okay.
Sure. Number 1 dance song? Sure. I can think of 5 other dance songs that I would have put on this list from Donna Summer.
Okay.
I Feel Love from 1977. Yeah, number 1 from Rolling Stone. I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
So the reason I brought that up,
any of the Bee Gees songs make it there? During the disco era?
Not even in the top 10.
Come on, man.
Not even in the top 10. New Order Blue Monday was at number 18. Prince. Prince.
Not Amy Grant.
Prince. Okay, I'll give you Prince.
Okay.
Controversy.
Which one?
Was at 19.
Really? Of all the songs that they picked?
I'm just saying.
Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood.
Kylie Minogue, Can't Get You Out of My Head was at 20.
Because once you hear that song, it doesn't get out of your head.
Yeah, all right.
I'm going to be singing it. Wait, we've got other answers, so I want you to hear what other people actually had to say.
Okay.
Just in case we're curious. Not correct, but
right.
They were okay. So Susan said Jack Hartman. Okay, all right.
I don't know that one. I don't know.
What's this?
Yowza, 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 yowza. You never heard that song?
Oh, not with that song. Okay. Now, Susan put in another one here that originally this is where my mind went to, but it's not a dance song.
Seasons in the Sun.
Yeah.
Harry Jackson. Seasons.
We had seasons.
That's those 70s story songs.
Yeah. Love
Louie. Louie, Louie, Louie. Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods. Billy, don't be a hero.
I know.
Don't be a
Let
fool
the
with your
record
life.
Edmund Fitzgerald.
The night
Night
Chicago
Chicago
died. The
died.
night Chicago died. What was the one? What was the one that Vicki Lawrence did? The night that the lights went out in Georgia. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. Cher.
I was born in the wagon of a traveling show. Mama used to dance for the money they throw. Whoa. And Angie Baby. Angie Baby from Helen Reddy.
Helen Reddy.
Yeah.
She also had another one. I forget what was her.
She had a bunch of hits, but I Am Woman was her first one, her debut.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I used to sing along to that. Mom looked at me like, what are you
Operator.
Doing?
Taxi. I mean, we can go down this road. All those story songs.
Man, I just had one at the top of my head that I can't remember. Story songs. It was Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. He means so much to me. What is that? Run, Joey, run. Run, Joey, run. Joey, run.
Come on, Ron. I am the morning DJ at WOLDDDDDD. Come on. I gotta love that.
Yeah, no, I know. Story songs. Well, we went down that road, that rabbit hole. That was fun. I could go on and on and on with those.
Could have gone with thinking season like Salt Spice and stumped. Could have been the Spice Girls.
Could have been the Spice Girls. Could have been Salt and Pepper.
Come on, that's a top 200 right there. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
But dance song, I'd say pop. Yeah. Pop anthem.
That dance song, every wedding you've ever been to, they throw that on. The floor gets super crowded.
Oh yeah, with that one. I tell you what, here's the one that always fills the dance floor if I'm ever DJing or anything.
Not that you've ever done that.
Right? And they recently just took they sampled it for another song, but it's the Emotions, the Best of My Love. Starts off with that. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Yeah. Starts off with the brass. Yeah.
It's the commercial that is on TV. It's like either Target or something that runs a spot that has that in it.
That was always my go-to to fill the dance floor. If I was ever at a wedding or whatever, I always went to the DJ and like, can you put on the Emotion Best of My Love? And they're like, okay. Next thing you know. And then, of course, they have to follow that with September, and then they follow that with Super Freak. But then they mix Super Freak into MC Hammer.
Oh, can't touch this.
Right. Which is the same song as Super Freak. I know you had to do the super mix, mix, and
then the electric slide.
The electric slide.
Come on, that should be on the top 200 of all time. I mean, if we're being honest.
No. Rolling Stone. Come on, they had at 200 was Donna Summer Last Dance. And 199 is Fatboy Slim, the Rockefeller Skank. And Mescaline United, we have arrived. I don't know.
No offense, this list stinks.
Rolling Stone. You know what? Here you go, Rolling Stone. Here we go, Rolling Stone. Close tab. Bye.
Yeah.
Because I think on my list, it has to be.
No.
I love. Now, I know what it is. Number one for Greatest Wife Ever. I know number one for her is Dancing Queen from ABBA.
Yeah, I mean, that should be on there too.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
That's huge. And I'm not ashamed to say I love disco music back in the day when it was out and fresh and new and all that stuff. So all of the Bee Gees stuff. I have the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
I'm just the Bee Gees.
Instead of Staying Alive, which is an anthem, I like Night Fever as another dance song from Bee Gees. Jive Talking, I thought was a great song from a dance song from the Bee Gees.
Yeah. And then slow song wise, dancing. How Deep Is Your Love?
How Deep Is Your Love? Come on.
Come on.
I see your eyes in the morning sun. But the what I'm also going to say, and believe it or not, there was a great remake of it, done by Cyndi Lauper, and she killed it. And it was on the
Which one?
sound. She was on the soundtrack to A Night at the Roxbury, which had away. What is love, baby? Don't hurt me. It was
She did
was
that?
it Chris Kattan? No.
Oh, okay.
She covered one of my favorite dance songs, and her version slaps. It was awesome. It's sorry, the Tramps and Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
Disco Inferno.
Burn,
That's the
baby,
bit.
burn.
Oh, listen to that. Do me a favor.
Go
Call that up. Call up Disco Inferno
Uh-huh.
on whatever your service is, and
Yeah.
listen to that bass line. That bass line. No, not there. When they go into the chorus, burn, because he just walks it. He walks it all over the place. Unbelievable bass player.
Do that and then listen to Duran Duran's Rio isolated bass track from John Taylor and go.
Yes. Yeah, right.
By the way, but
yeah.
okay, so for the Disney fans out there, if you haven't been on it yet, Guardians of the Galaxy in Epcot, one of the songs that the ride is synced to is Disco Inferno.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is, I think, one of the best. That or Flock of Seagulls I Ran, which that was the other one.
I loved that song. I still do. That's I'll turn it up. I'll turn it up in the car if I hear it. Absolutely. Disco Inferno. That's I mean, I know it's a disco song. I get it.
It is.
Now for Donna Summer, though, I would have to say when her Bad Girls album came out, I bought it. I loved it. I loved that album. Bad Girls and Hot Stuff off of that album. Unbelievable. That was a great album.
I would have liked to have seen how that song with the whistle was made. Tweet, 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 tweet. Like edited it together. Was that a single tweet that then somebody went in and chopped, or was somebody just doing that?
I think there was somebody doing that.
I mean, well, I've been surprised by a bunch of stuff. Like if you go online sometime and look up 10cc Not in Love, and you know that.
Oh yeah, that was
stuff. Like
was
how
all sampled
edited and how sampled, like for back in that time in the 70s, like the stuff that they were doing was pretty amazing. So I would love to know.
Each note,
and
they had the singer go, oh, and that note was on a loop.
Yes,
and that loop was on a fader, and they played the fader. The faders on a control board, the slide faders, like a keyboard.
Yes,
like a keyboard. So they would. So you hear the vocals come in
too.
So they play it was amazing. It was pretty amazing.
Right, you saw too.
Cream and 10cc. Yeah, I
love seeing some of these deconstructed sort of videos that show you actually how some of these songs were made. It's quite amazing.
So, it is, and and I'm huge fan of the Beatles. So you go back and listen to some of their stuff, and the way that was all recorded on just 4 tracks, and then they would mix those 4 tracks down and bounce them down to 1 track, and they would leave 3 new tracks open, and then they would record more stuff.
We think about that.
Bounce those down, so you had track 1 and 2, and they had 2 tracks open. It was just amazing. Sgt. Pepper's was recorded on 4 tracks. Think about it. All the stuff, the orchestra,
unbelievable.
The sound effects that they had that came in. It was it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I love all of that stuff. Stories of recording and so on. But anyway, throw your favorite dance song in the comments section. I'd love to see your favorite song that you like to get out and boogie. Now, I will say this about the Greatest Wife Ever, because she's a rock chick. So of course ABBA's on there, but also Back in Black is a killer dance song, and she loves Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of. That's her jam, man. It is her jam.
I can respect that.
Some of those who work forces are the same that burn crosses. Like, oh my God.
Wow. Yeah.
Great song. Great song, man. You want to talk about cathartic? After you hear that, you're sweating, you're giving the finger, especially at the end of the song.
Goodness.
That's a great one.
Somebody get that on film.
We
Yeah.
had our friend Jason, who's he's in his homeland now. He's in Canada this week to visit his family, but his former band that he had would play "Killing in the Name of," and then at the end, there's a lot of expletives, and he just decided he's like, I just don't want it. I didn't feel right cussing at the crowd, cussing at the people who paid all this money. It was the last song of the night, but he just left it out. He didn't do it. But everybody knew what it was, so they just sang along themselves. But still, and I get that. He's like, I can't, in all good conscience, do that, yelling at these expletives at the people who paid to see me. So he didn't want to do it. Which I thought was a cool move. I think I probably would have done that too. I'd like to think I would. I don't know. I don't know if I would, but we're gonna party down this weekend with the greatest wife ever, and celebrate her. And we're camping, and then there are a bunch of us. We're all doing a little pub crawl because we have a little tents that are set up, and each of us is doing different drinks at the pub crawl. Now, not a full shot because I just talked to her and it was like 10 of us are doing it. You can't do 10 shots.
No, no.
We will die. So these are
a lot.
These are a little mini. I'm going to do a little mini, but I'm doing birthday cake shooters. Have you ever had a birthday cake shooter?
I would like to.
You've never had one?
No, I've had like whipped cream whiskey and
no. It's the weirdest thing. I'll explain what it is. It's the weirdest thing. So it's absolute citron. So it's vodka with citrus in it. And frangelico or hazelnut liqueur.
Yep, got that.
That's even, Steven. So half and half, right? Chill it, okay?
Okay.
And then you get a wedge of lemon, and you put sugar all over it. Do the shot,
right?
Bite the lemon like you would like after tequila with a lime.
It tastes just like a birthday.
It's ridiculous. And then actually at times, it can be like a chocolate cake shooter. But I'm going to put icing all around the outside of these little, I'm going to get little shot cups and then put icing around the outside and then sprinkles.
Yep.
So that's your birthday cake. I'm birthday cake shot. Let's all go to the party. Napua says she posted that up on our Facebook. Yep. I know. I'm anxious. And some of them are doing like a little shot and a bite. So a little something to eat. So I was going to do cupcakes.
You should do, I should advise you to do that.
What, cupcakes?
Your consigliere to eat along with doing what you're doing.
Oh, I'm not doing doing all of that. Okay. I mean, I will, it'll be throughout the evening. I'm not going to,
I would go with sweets. That works for me. But of course, that might not work in that area.
Yeah, I'm still
maybe get some protein or something.
Greatest wife ever and I had a lost Sunday. We just decided we hopped in the car and we just went and got lost. And what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? So then she's like, all right, let's go here. So we went to Watson's. We got the White Star hot dogs, which do you remember those? Did you ever have those here in town, John? White Star hot dogs?
I believe at some point I did.
Yeah, they were split hot dogs. They're grilled,
and
they put a Cincinnati chili on it, and then and mustard, and then they cover with minced onions. It's just
where did you get
that? At Watson's. Watson's, they call them Texas wieners, but
where? Like, where is that?
Jefferson, Maryland. Right. So it's 5 minutes down the road from where I live.
We need to do that.
Then we drove into Frederick.
I'm in.
And we went to the airport. And we sat at the airport and watched these. And now the Frederick airport is small. It's a municipal airport, so it's all prop planes. But then we saw this one prop plane that came in, and Grace River was like, "Oh, there are passengers on that." And I'm like, "Nah." And it did. It flew around, and we look at this one terminal, and I'm like, "I've never been in that terminal. What is that?" And it's a luxury terminal. So these people, they
have money, right?
No, and they hopped off. And they had their baggage with them, and then somebody else got their bag. There are like 10 people on the plane, and they walk into the really nice lounge, and then they all had Ubers, like Uber X waiting for him. Big black SUVs, luxury vehicles, and bottles of water being handed to him as they get. I'm like, who are these guys? And why are they flying into Fredericksburg? Are they flying home? Are they visiting somebody? This was like, it was money. And so I went into them. I'm like, I'm going to go into the terminal because I'm just going to say, I want to use the bathroom. And
do that? Are you allowed?
Well, that's what Greatest Ever. She goes, well, you go by yourself.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, I'll
report,
I'll report back. And I went in. It's gorgeous, leather couches and all that stuff. And it's like I'm going to say 3-story glass wall, observatory looking out at the airport. Nice. And so I went to the desk and she's going, hi, can I help you? And I'm like, can I use your restroom? She's like, oh yeah, it's right over there. She was really nice.
Right.
Nice restroom. Really nice. I mean, there was cologne, there was mouthwash in case, you want to freshen up after your flight. It was a primo bathroom.
Wow.
So, and then I just I looked around. I wanted to go over to and ask, where did that flight come from? But somebody else was standing at the desk. So all right, I'll just sneak.
I'll see myself out.
I'll see myself out. Yeah, I'm done. But it was pretty amazing. So we did that. We went to the airport and then I said, hey, let's go antiquing. We haven't been to the Emporium, which is a bunch of little antique vendors in downtown Frederick. Park the car. We go in. And because Greatest Wave Ever is on a quest now for vintage barware, like mid-century type stuff from the 50s,
okay.
60s, maybe even earlier, Art Deco, that kind of thing. And when you're antiquing, it's kind of hard because they know what they have, so the price is kind of up there. I go flipping through, and I posted this on my Instagram. I go flipping through some of the albums, and nothing makes you feel older than spotting record albums from your high school at an antique store. 1979's The Cars Candy-O. And I'm just looking at it like, oh man. And they wanted $25 for it.
Yeah.
I've got that vinyl at home. I've got it.
I'm sad I sold all my albums in bulk like 7 years ago. But
did you?
Yeah. By the way, I hate to do that.
Oh my gosh, we gotta go.
We have to go, and I have to go.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta go, and I gotta go too.
Ron, you got work to do.
I actually have work to do. I gotta record some spots.
Yes.
So, hey, thank you so much for hanging out. Put your dance song in there. We'll continue this discussion next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll have stories about the birthday party. I'll let you know how.
Yeah, I want to know how that went.
We're gonna party hard, and we're gonna dance and celebrate Jennifer.
Yeah, and everyone pressure Ron into coming to visit me, because then we can do like a show in the same room.
That would be awesome. Do you think we could do that?
Oh, we could do that.
Okay.
We might even do it from the beach.
That would.
They have Wi-Fi down there.
That would be so rude. Hi, we're at the beach, everybody, and you're not.
No, that'd be awesome. So, everybody, push them into coming to visit.
I'm coming. We got to pick out dates. I've got
a calendar.
I'm ready. I got you, man.
Here we go.
I told you we're driving, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, we're gonna drive.
Yes. All right.
It's not gonna be that bad. Okay, listen. So thank you so much for everything. Yes, beach show. Napua says, okay, all right, okay, cool.
Yes.
You don't have to tell me twice. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll have so much sunscreen on. I'll have a big wait a minute. Jennifer says, what? I have a great weekend, great friends, and happy birthday, greatest wife ever. It's our 21st wedding anniversary on Friday.
Hey, happy anniversary, Jennifer.
Nice. 21 years.
That's
rookies.
Good. Yeah, right.
Rookies, newlyweds.
Really? Yeah.
No, good for you. It's 21. Hey, your marriage is old enough to drink.
There you go.
So good for you. All right, listen. All right, John, I know you got to go. I got to go. Listen, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. John, Ron, love you, mean it. Bicycle.